Hi guys, it's taken me a while to get this video done, and part of the reason why is because being vulnerable is it's hard, but it's just hard, and I've been vulnerable before, will be vulnerable in the future, and so I'm going to be vulnerable right now. I believe that most people on this page right now maybe know me or know of me, but for those of you who don't, my name is Marcie, and I'm actually running a marathon in November. It's called the Rock and Roll Marathon. It's in Las Vegas on November the 11th and the 12th. About 6 years ago, on February the 9th of 2011, I had a car wreck, and as a result of that, had multiple injuries and was told that I would never run again. For some, that may not be. They may be, oh, well, why is that significant? And I'm gonna get there. I promise I'll get there. But I am running again, and I'm here, which is super important, and I credit that to God, of course, who several years ago I was not sure existed, but today know beyond a shadow of a doubt that that He's there and He's got my back. Some people on here will know my story. Some of them know all of it. Some of them know part of it. But I'm going to tell for those, because my goal, here's the thing. My goal is by November the 12th, I want people who have no idea who I am to be part of this group, and to know that what they're pledging is going to go to an amazing organization who is saving lives and changing the world one heart at a time. Who's making people better people and helping them live the life that they've wanted to live, and live that life with passion and love and respect and dignity and power and ownership and all of that stuff. Hope. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys my story, and so you'll know how I got where I am. Remember, I told you that on February the 9th, 2011, I had a car accident, and at that point never believed. I was running every day, 7 to 10 miles a day, but was told that I would never run again, and really doctors acted like it was really no big deal that I would never run again. For me, it was a big deal. So I'm going to tell you my story, and I don't know, I'm going to do it. Here goes. I'm vulnerable. So I was born about 50 some odd years ago, but I was born into a family, an abusive family. My father was super abusive. He was super abusive to me and my 3 sisters, and to my mom as well. Things that I remember about my childhood are not happy thoughts. I don't have many happy thoughts about my childhood. I can't think of any except one, and I'm going to tell you that in a minute. But things that I do remember that are clear in my brain are of my father dragging my mother through broken glass from our dinner table, naked. My father making my sister and I hold our pet dog while he tried to remove our dog's testicles. I remember my father, whenever I was 5, picking me up over his head and throwing me across the room. I don't remember what I did, but I'm sure whatever I did was not enough for that. I remember when I was about 14, my father coming to the church that he pastored, and getting me, making me get in the car and go to McDonald's or Burger King. My sister was 15 and was working there so that she could support our family. And I remember that night so clearly. It was Halloween. We were having a Halloween party at church, my father made me go in and get her and tell her she could tell something was wrong by the look on my face. But I told her nothing was wrong because I was scared. We got into the car. My father locked the electric locks on the car and drove out into the country, and I literally felt like my sister would die that night. He, as she was curled up in the floor of our front floorboard of our car, he beat the holy crap out of her. I don't know if I mentioned or not, but my father was a pastor, and so he did it all in the name of God. Abuse from my father was physical, emotional, sexual, and religious. Like I said, I really wasn't sure there was a God. And so I really, while kids were dreaming about what they would be when they would grow up, I never dreamt that. I never had the dream of meeting Prince Charming and marrying him, having that amazing wedding, being a doctor or a lawyer or an Indian chief. I never had that dream because I literally thought that I would never grow up. The one thing that I did have whenever I was a child that I was good at and I loved doing was running. I was good at running and I loved it. It was such an escape for me. My father tried to take that away from me also, but it didn't work. It didn't work because I loved it so much. I remember one night it was dark outside and he made me get out of the car and get in front of the car and run all the way to our house with him behind us in the car, or behind me in the car, thinking he's gonna run over me. And so it just made me run faster and faster, and it didn't get rid of my love for running. I think he might have thought it was going to, but it didn't. I loved it. But like I said, I never dreamed that I would grow up, but I did. And I grew up, what I had seen was that women could be treated like trash and thrown away, and that women basically were worthless. So that got me into a series of abusive relationships, and eventually ended up in my children being abused as well. So speaking of children, as a result of one of those relationships, I have 4 children. Their names are Jennifer, I love you, baby, Cody, Shannon, and William. I love you. I love you. And so, Shannon was born August the 11th, 1988. I'm sorry, 1987. And, when Shannon was 3 months old, she had had a cold for some time, and she couldn't shake the cold. And so I had taken her to the doctor, and I'd taken her to the doctor a couple of times, actually. He treated me like an overly protective mom. I had already had 2 kids. She was my 3rd. So I'd already had 2 kids, and I was not overly protective, and I knew what was going on with my baby wasn't right. Finally, Shannon was diagnosed with leukemia, and we went back and forth to Dallas, and she went into remission, and she fought a freaking amazing fight. She fought an amazing fight. But on July the 9th of oh God, my battery's died. Anyway, my baby passed away from her from leukemia. I remember holding her in my arms while her little eyes were bleeding. Her little eyes were bleeding blood tears, and my baby passed away. We buried her, and from that I crammed those feelings down because I had 2 other children. Remember, Shannon was my 3rd, so I still had Jennifer and Cody, and I needed to be there for them. I needed to be strong for them. I needed to be the mom that that picked them up. So I read all the books to them about it's not your fault, and you didn't make the baby sick, and all of that, just to make them be okay. That's the donkey, sorry. And then and we got through it. We got through it. We muddled through it, and we went on, because that's what I had to do. Stuff that down, be strong. I considered myself the comeback kid. So me and my 2 little babies went on. I got married into, of course, another abusive relationship, and after I left, that was when my children were abused. And then after I left that relationship, I married an amazing guy. An amazing, amazing guy. Still married to him. He's amazing. Promise you. No abuse. He's great. Best thing I could ever think of. Best thing that I could have. Finally, I had that Cinderella moment. That time where I'm okay. I'm okay. And life was great. I was at the top of my career. Working for an amazing company, amazing long-term care company. That's what I do. I'm a nurse, and I'm working for an amazing long-term care company, and I was great, on top of the world. I think I had even said, life can't get any better than this. It can't. This is amazing. I'm so glad that I'm here. Remember, I'm the comeback kid. And so, on February the 26th, 2009, it's a Monday, the day after my oldest son's 23rd birthday. I had talked to him on his birthday. And I had said, asked him to come home. He's like, I'm not sure that I'm going to come home. I think I kind of want to hang out with my girlfriend. And he did. And that's cool, because girlfriends should always win out over moms at 23. And so, but the next morning, because I'm a super smart aleck, as I got up and left my home that morning, I called my son's phone. And I left him some smart aleck message about how I had made his favorite dinner the night before. And that I had made him blackberry cobbler and vanilla ice cream that was still in the refrigerator if he wanted to get some whenever he came over to get his birthday present. But I was out of town for work, so I'll see you in a week or so whenever I get home. Told him where his gift was, hid up underneath the dresser in my room. I can still remember it was $200. I pulled up outside the nursing home in Dallas that I was going to that day. And the phone rings, and it's my super amazing husband. And he says, Marcie, have the police got a hold of you? And I said, no. He said, well, I think they're trying to get a hold of you. He said, Cody's been in an accident. Cody's my second child. Cody's been in an accident. And I said, okay, who do I need to talk to? Give me the number. Let me get off the phone and call them. He gave me the number, and right before we hang up, he says, Marcie, I think he's been hurt really bad. And I was like, okay, let me get off here. Let me call the guys I need to call, because in my mind, I'm in Dallas. I'm in Dallas, and if my baby's been hurt really bad, they're bringing him to Dallas, and I got this. And so I called the number, and they get the sheriff on the phone, and what they say is that my son had been in a car accident, and he didn't make it. I don't even remember what I said. I just know I hung up and I called my husband back. And he didn't even say anything. He didn't even say hello. He just said, come home. And so somebody from work drove me home, and I remember as we went down the interstate, I was looking for a hearse or an ambulance or something headed toward Dallas, because whoever was driving me, if I'd have seen it, I'd have made them turn around. I'd have made them chase that ambulance down, just so I could give my baby one more hug. Just one more hug. I wasn't sure I wasn't sure that I was going to come back from that. I wasn't sure. But I did. I did, because remember, I'm the comeback kid. That's what I do. And I still had a 16-year-old at home that needed his mom. And so I bounced back. I came back. I did what I was supposed to do, shove that crap down and get back to life. I could never, however, I never really fully recovered from that. But life goes on, right? And so I changed my priorities, changed my job, got a job closer to home so that I wouldn't be gone all the time and I could feel closer to my family. And and then on February the 9th of 2011, my life changed again. Traveling to a work site with a friend of mine, eyes on the ground, I remember my friend saying, "Hey, Marcie, will you drive?" We were in her car. I remember her saying, "Hey, Marcie, will you drive?" And I said, "Sure." Got out, and I remember kicking my feet on the ground on the highway behind the car as we traded spots to see if it felt slick, and it didn't. It didn't feel slick, so I was like, "Okay, I got this." But the further we drove, the worse the weather got, and we got to a stop sign. And I remember at that stop sign saying, "Hey," her name was Glenda. I love her. Saying, "Hey, Glenda, can you, what do you think? We can either go forward and continue this work, or we need to turn around now and go back to the office." And we were about halfway there. It was the halfway point. And she said, "This is the last day we can do this, right?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Then let's go forward." And I said, "Okay, get on the phone and call the office and tell them we're going to need a hotel. Because if we go forward, we're not making it home tonight." She said, "Okay." And that's the last conversation I remember having with her. As we drove forward, it was less than 10 miles. We had a car accident. I don't remember the car accident. I remember nothing about it. But my friend Glenda, we were broadsided by a 18-wheeler. My friend Glenda was killed in that car accident. I remember, or I try to remember that accident. I want to so bad, because I want to know that I said something to her. She was where I was supposed to be sitting. I did not die, but I did suffer significant trauma. I don't remember probably the next 2 weeks. I don't really clearly remember any of that. And I came home, and at that point I started thinking, what the hell? What is this all about? Why am I here? I'm so tired. I'm so tired. So over the next 3 years, I went through multiple surgeries, multiple reconstruction of my arm and my knee and my ankle and my leg, and in and out of the hospital, in and out of surgery, in and out of physical rehabs. It was just an excruciating ordeal. And in the meantime, my sister had asked me, would I go to this place called Pathways. What I told her was, no, I don't need Pathways. Pathways not for me. And she told me, what they were all about, saving lives, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, I'm okay. Nothing's going on with me. Somewhere along the way, I had decided that I was done. Really done with life. And opened up my calendar, did my finger in a circle like this, and put my finger on a date. And that date happened to be sometime in February. I don't remember the first date, but it was sometime in February. And what I knew was that my family had suffered so much in February already. We had lost my brother-in-law in February. We had lost my son in February. My son's birthday was in February. It could not be February. February could not be the month that I checked out. And so I moved to March. I moved it to March. I also needed enough time to pay for my funeral. And I figured I could have it paid for by March the 15th. That's the day I literally opened the calendar on my phone and wrote down D-Day. Started researching all of my medications, and I was on a lot at that time, a lot. And what exactly would be the lethal doses of those medications? And I just started planning my funeral and how I was going to check myself out. Nobody, absolutely nobody knew. I said something one time to my husband about it. He wasn't really receptive to hearing that, and who would be? And so I never said anything again. And I just started checking my days off. And as I did that, the relationship with my daughter started falling apart. I started seeing my daughter struggle and my son struggle. And I said, hey, you know, my little sister, she's been through this program. It's called Pathways, and you guys would benefit from that, because I knew what was coming. I knew what was coming. And they went, and they said, both of them came home, Mom, when are you going to do this? I'm not doing it. My son came home, Mom, when are you going to do this? Oh, I'm not doing it. But finally they were like, you got to do this. And I cannot reconcile how I tell my kids this is a good thing to do, but I don't do it. And so I decided to sign up and go. Never really fully, 4 years ago, never really fully intending to finish, ever. So 4 years ago, that would have been in 2013. And I think I started in May 2013, graduated in, I don't know, 4 months later. But literally on March the 15th of 2014, I was not supposed to be here after that day. But I graduated before then, and I did make it. So the program is an amazing nonprofit organization. Oh, sorry about that. A nonprofit organization helping people regain who they are. And so today, I'm a strong, brave woman. I'm whole, loved, and forgiven, walking in their light every single day. Every single day. I want to read you guys a letter that I wrote to myself whenever I was going through Pathways. Dear Marcie, you are a strong, brave woman. This is the hardest, scariest journey you have ever been on. It is also the most powerful, joyful, and wonderful journey you will ever take. So soak it in each day. You deserve it. Call the people you love. Hug the people you love. Feel their love for you. You deserve it. Above all else, love yourself. Go easy on yourself. This is a journey, and how boring would the journey be if there wasn't some rain, some snow, some mountains and rivers. My point is, there will be obstacles, but you are a strong, brave woman. You can do this thing called life. I still believe that today. And I know that this organization is saving lives every single month. They save lives every single month. Somebody takes that date off the calendar. Every single month, somebody believes that they are worthy of love and that they are worthy of being on this earth. And so, as I run, I reflect on that. I reflect on what a powerful journey this was for me. and how amazing this organization is, and how I would not be here today. I would not be a strong, brave woman, whole, loved, and forgiven, walking in their light every single day, if it was not for for this organization and the love and the passion that they give out every single month. And so as I was running, I thought, man, I have 400 friends on Facebook. If 400 friends would sponsor me for $1 a mile, then I could raise $10,400 for this organization, this nonprofit organization. And how many lives could that save? How many lives could that save? How many lives could that just change? How many legacies could be changed if that happened? So I'm coming to you today asking you if you will sponsor me. I don't care if it's for 5 cents a mile. If you'll sponsor me, I'm going to run right now, what I know I can run is 13 miles. I know it because I've done it. Within the last week, I've ran 13 miles at one time. So I know I can do that. So you may not have to pay more than $13, but $13 toward an organization that is changing lives can mean so much. So I'm asking you to sponsor me, because I don't know a better word, and pledge your donation. To do so, please touch on the pinned post at the top, and then if you would message me your email address and your phone number, so that after I run, I swear I'm running 26 miles. I'm doing this. I am. So after I run my 26 miles, I can contact you and let you know how to give your money. I'm telling you that I'm doing it. 26 miles is my goal, and I'm doing it. So I don't know, if you do $1 a mile, you're going to be out 26 bucks. I'm just saying. I want to go ahead and thank you guys in advance. Let you know, thank you for believing in me. Those who have already pledged, thank you for believing in me. Thank you for believing in a good cause, and know that, yeah, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be amazing. So if you haven't shared this page already, please share it. Please share it with everybody. It's a public page, and I want every single body. I want this to go viral. I want as many people that can see this to see it. I want them to know that there is life-changing stuff out there. Life-changing, life-saving, amazing stuff. Okay, that's it. I'm signing out. You guys make your pledge. Pinned post. Click on the pinned post. All right, that's it. Bye-bye.